What's going on, y'all? It's the first of the month. It's November 1st. It seems like October was 5 minutes long. It's crazy. Let's just get right into it. We're gonna review the Oval. It's been a minute, I know, but my schedule has been crazy. I feel like I feel like I haven't gotten 5 minutes out of the last month. It's been entirely crazy. Just my first free day in weeks, probably in 3 weeks, maybe a month, will be next Friday. So I have a week to wait for my first free day in a minute. Anyway, long story short, hope y'all doing alright. So the Oval, Tyler Perry's The Oval. We gotta review shows like this because it's important to the culture. It's important to, it's important to talk about black shows. It's important to talk about black shows on black networks. It's very important because it keeps the talk of black actors, going. It keeps the conversation going. So it's very important. Long story short, the Oval is about, you know, a fictional presidency. It's about, I think the first lady's name is Victoria. Cron Moore actually plays the first lady, and the president's name is Hunter Franklin. Long story short, the pilot starts off. They are, I don't believe they're at the White House. They're somewhere getting ready for the inauguration. Long story short, they start brawling. They start boxing, fighting. They hitting each other with picture frames. She's spitting his face. They kicking each other, throwing each other. I think he threw her on the bed. I think he slapped her to the ground at one point. I mean, it got ugly. She threw a glass at him. When the Secret Service was like, is y'all ready to go to the inauguration? They acted like it was cool, but clearly this is something that I think the team is used to and that they're used to doing. I think they get into it every day as far as fighting and things like that. Let me see, what else I got down here? Let's see. Then at a certain point, we ended up getting introduced to the butler, and the butler's name is Donald. No, excuse me, that's not his name. Richard is the butler. We see the chief of staff, his name is Donald. We see the butler, who's Richard, and Priscilla, who is the head chef, and basically she runs the show. She like the HBIC of the White House. She runs everything. She's like the head of the staff or whatever the case may be. They get to talk about the Obamas. They get to talk about how classy they were. So this presidency is basically following the Obamas. So we just gonna ignore what's going on in the White House right now, kind of like we do in real life anyway. And basically, she kind of gets the feeling that this family's gonna be some shit. That they're nothing like the Obamas. They're not classy like them. She just has a feeling, and her feelings prove to be right. Let's see. Then we go to Richard's family, and we go to the house where Richard stays with his wife, his son. I believe his son's girlfriend stays with them, and his granddaughter's there. And then his wife's name is Nancy. So basically, I don't know if she's a housewife, but basically she takes care of the entire family. Typical, down home matriarch of the family. Black woman who's very much in charge of her family, takes care of everything. Barry and his girlfriend. Barry's the son of Nancy and Richard. And Barry and his girlfriend, I believe her name is Sharon, they stay there. And it's kind of interesting the way they scene starts off. But they're upstairs in the bedroom, doing bedroom business when the little girl is downstairs with Miss Nancy, who is the grandmother of the little girl. Her name's Callie. And then, Miss Nancy is the mother to Barry, and like I said, wife to Richard, and Sharon is the girlfriend of Barry. Long story short, we end up seeing this crazy lady named Ruth. Ruth happens to be Callie's mother, the little girl. All this time I didn't know, that the woman upstairs with Barry was not the little girl's mother, but she's not. And Ruth has on, she's garbed up, and she previously was, I guess, on drugs, and now she's a part of some sort of cult. And she's married to some dude who runs the cult. I don't know if he's, what do they call him? The master, the highest, I think they call him. And she wants to see her daughter. The family's very against it. Barry doesn't want her to do it. He actually has full custody, and he says, no, you're not going to see her. And Miss Nancy goes against that, which I kind of saw this coming. The Oval is kind of predictable, but it's good in a good way, you know what I'm saying? Because it gets good. Like, the stuff that you predict, it happens in, like, a very dramatic way to where you're like, oh, damn. So Miss Nancy lets Ruth, the crazy baby mother, see her daughter for an hour. That doesn't work out very well, though. Then we go back to the presidential couple, the first lady and the president. Victoria, the first lady, who I feel is the star of the show. Cron Moore is the actress that plays her. She's hilarious. Like, even if this show doesn't go on, which I feel it will get at least 5 seasons, if not more, I really think that we are on. I think we're in the view of this lady becoming a star, and I think this character will probably be iconic. If we don't remember anything about this show, we will remember the first lady the most and her marriage to the president on this show. They're also an interracial couple. I forgot to include that in there. Long story short, we go see Victoria, first lady, talk to her daughter Gail. Gail is played by Paige Hurd. And she's trying to get Gail to get dressed for the inauguration. Gail is refusing. Gail's a typical teenage brat. Spoiled, entitled, I don't want to do nothing you talking about. I'm not listening to you. I'm not going nowhere. And Gail and Victoria have a very turbulent relationship. Like, they fight like dogs. Like, for real. Like, and I don't even want to say fight, but Victoria just is not scared to get in that ass when it comes down to her daughter. Let's just put it that way. She calls her the B word left and right. She threatens to slap the shit out of her. I'll put you through the wall. I'll ship your ass off. Like, all the threats are in this situation. After that, we meet Lily. Lily is the wife of the chief of staff, and she's like the fashion designer. Her scene is kind of boring for a little bit. She's the fashion designer of the first lady's wardrobe, and she actually designed her dress for the inauguration. She's stuck on a plane due to some sort of odd weather. It's like storms coming through, long story short. And she's not landing in Charlotte. She's supposed to trying to get a car to get to DC, but the plane is not landing. And the drive from DC to Charlotte, or however, is like a good 6 hours, long story short. Either way, she meets some dude who's sitting next to her. Seems harmless enough, but he ends up being a creep. They start to flirt. He trying to shoot a shot left and right. And she's like, being a real good wife, I'm not interested. I'm good. No, thank you. I'm good. But appreciate your compliments and all of that good stuff. Then we go back to the president and the first lady. Victoria and Hunter get ready for the inauguration. The lovely daughter decides that she's not going to the inauguration. After First Lady threatened her and said, you better not embarrass me, she decided she wasn't going anyway. So there's that. And they get escorted to the inauguration with the son. The son is a little weirdo. He's a creep. I don't even know his name, but he's a creep. But yeah. So they end up going to the inauguration, just the three of them. Security, Secret Service, all of that good stuff. They make it look good. She wears this fake painted on smile. They go have their dance at the inauguration. And at the inauguration, there is his mistress, another black woman. So Hunter, president, he down with the swirl. He got jungle fever, a bad case. Long story short, after that, Barry is helping Richard move boxes into the White House, into the president's office, I believe, or something like that. He was instructed, Richard, by the chief of staff to move everything by himself. You don't need no help. I don't want nobody to help you. Blah, blah, blah. Gail shows up to the White House drunk. She's escorted. She meets everybody. She meets the butler. She meets the chef. She meets housekeeper named Jean, and she wants to be escorted to her bedroom, but she wants Barry to do it, who is Richard's son. And shit just goes left from there. It goes left, it goes downhill, it gets thrown to the wall, it's all over the floor, it's everywhere. It just gets really bad since then. He's actually not supposed to be there, Barry, but he has clearance to go to the White House because his dad's been working there since he was a little kid. So as his son, he's allowed to be there. I'm sure that's going to change. Gail gets to her room. She tells Jean to leave. So Jean and Barry escort her, and she only wants Barry to stay. this is getting really weird. Long story short, they get in the room. She comes on to Barry. She lifting up her skirt. She's dropping her knees. She's messing with his belt. He's trying to fight her off. Get off, get off, get off. I don't want you touching me. Long story short, he knocks her off of him, and she hits her head. And yeah, so that scene gets, I didn't think it was gonna move that fast, but that scene moved really fast. Then we go back to the plane. Long story short, Lily and the dude, Bobby's his name, Lily's the fashion designer and she's the wife of the chief of staff. Long story short, he's still being mad thirsty, still trying to shoot a shot. Like I said, she's being a good wife and I'm not interested. Then he sweet talks her, he wears her down, then they end up meeting in the bathroom, and it's like a soul food type of sex scene. It's like Uncle Miles and Cousin Faith type of sex. Sex scenes on this show is a little different, I'm telling you. So this is not for the kids or the faint of heart. Back at the house, Nancy, Ruth, and the little girl Callie are at the house, and basically, what happens after that? Oh, Nancy tells Ruth she gotta go. Barry coming home, so you got to get your ass out. My husband and son don't even know she was here. Give Callie to me. I saw how this was gonna go down. Ruth didn't want to let her go. Ruth was like, no, I'm not giving her up. This is my child. She coming with me, and the Most High wants this child. She starts singing this weird chant that she did when she originally popped up, talking about bring the little children to me. Then she sings some code, Rasku Asamatu, some weird shit. All people in cloaks and garbs rush in, snatch everybody up, snatch the little girl up. Nancy get to screaming. I saw this coming. I'm just like, damn, Nancy, you really dumb. You mean well, but you a fool. Back at the White House, let's see. Jean barges in the room and sees Barry standing over Gail. Gail's passed out, and Jean's like, why is her skirt hiked up? Basically, they wake up Gail. Gail's like, he raped me. I saw that shit coming too. I was like, but only 3 minutes transpired, and you fully dressed, and so is he. So how did he rape? That was the first thing that came to my mind. And if anybody was thinking logically, that should have come to their mind too. She's fully dressed, so is he. Like, this is weird. And basically that's it. So she's accusing him of rape because he was not interested, and he rejected her and ejected her and her ass got knocked out, so now she mad. But that's the first episode of The Oval. It was quick, it was fast. I didn't want to run too much into it because we got a second episode of it to review. I enjoyed it for what it was. It's very much reminiscent of the have and the have-nots, but I enjoyed it. We got some villains just like the haves and the have-nots. I think this is gonna expand greatly. There's a lot of characters. It's a lot to keep up with, but I enjoyed it. My favorite character so far is definitely the First Lady. She is hilarious, and like I said, she got some layers to her. She got some shit with her, and it's some other stuff that I can already tell is gonna pop through with this show. Anyways, what did you guys think? What do you think will be the storylines in the show? What do you think is up with the son? What do you think is up with the Chief of Staff's marriage to Lily? Who do you think Bobby is, and where the hell did he come from? And what do you think is going to happen with Miss Nancy, Ruth, and that whole Callie situation? And more importantly, what do you think is going to unfold as far as this marriage, the president, and all his mistresses? And do you think both of the kids belong to the president and the First Lady? That's my number one question. Anyways, y'all, stay tuned. Like, rate, comment, subscribe, share, and I'll see y'all with the next review. Later.